Nation of Fitin10, it is day 3 of the challenge, and I'm already getting a lot of great feedback with respect to the numbers. A lot of you are sending me in your numbers, and some people are very close, which is amazing at this point because it's only been, it's the third day today, but basically in your first 2 days, a lot of you have been doing great with your numbers. Some people aren't so close. That's okay. I know you'll get better. This is what, at least part of the program is working on self-improvement, working on improving on all the pillars of the challenge, and getting in tune with this whole system, right? So listen, when it comes to your numbers, I want you to do your best, okay, at getting all the numbers, okay? So a lot of you are sending me messages like, okay, I went over my protein, so should I go less in my carbs? Is it okay not to eat all my fat? I'm going to keep repeating back to you, just make sure you get all your numbers, okay? Just do your best to get all your numbers, okay? Let's not start trying to change things. And also there are some of you, which as impressive as this is, are getting more protein than I've allotted to you. So and in some cases a lot more protein, which I find very surprising because this is usually something that's very hard for people to eat. So remember with this, you don't need to overconsume protein. It's not really going to benefit you. It's a very expensive fuel. Okay, that when I say expensive, I don't mean money-wise, although it is expensive money-wise. It's the most expensive macronutrient, really, on average. When it comes to buying it, but I'm talking more energetically speaking. It's really hard for the body to convert. It's not hard, it's just an arduous process to go from protein to glucose. Okay, so this is what's going to happen if you overprotein, okay? And yes, I know that protein has a higher thermic effect in the body. We'll talk about that in the near future. Basically, it means it requires more energy to digest. So it's technically a less calorie dense fuel when you look at the amount of calories you're getting versus how much it takes to digest it. But that doesn't mean to overconsume it, okay? It has a role. You're getting a certain amount. Just focus on the amounts that I give you, okay? All right, now another reminder to you. Your calendar, right? You want to get in tune with your calendar if you're not already. I'm sure a lot of you probably use it to put in meetings that are work-related. Well, now you're going to put in your workouts, right? You're going to put in when you're going to do your cardio. When are you going to do your weights? And of course, when are you going to plan your food? I've told you this from the get-go. You cannot wing this. You need to plan and prepare all of your food. Plan and prepare all your food. If you try to wing your diet, you won't do it. You're going to be off, okay? Chances are you're going to be off. It's highly unlikely, unless you are very akin to foods, or you're very in tune with foods, You know your foods well. You know exactly what's in what, that you can wing it, okay? So I'm just going to tell you right off the bat, don't do this because you will, you're just not going to be successful, okay? You need to plan everything in advance, okay? Plan everything in advance. Get all your numbers. All right, some people have been asking me, is it necessary to have a protein supplement, like a protein powder? It's certainly not necessary. You can get all your protein in through your diet. Okay, is it easier with a protein supplement? Yes, it is easier. I have a fairly high protein diet. I'm generally in that 275 grams per day. This is partly because my lean body mass is much higher, so I require more. And so I do use a protein powder, but I try not to use more than about, I would say max, a third of your protein from supplements, okay, from powders. So try to get at least 2/3 real whole food. Now, if you're looking for a good powder and you're okay with dairy, then I would go with Magnum Quattro protein powder. Okay, it's pharmaceutical grade. It's got a high purity rate. Tastes very good, and I do sell it as well. Okay, so if you're looking for that, let me know. If you want to try it, let me know. I can give you a sample. All right, so that's what I'd recommend. Listen, if you go for a cheap protein, when it comes to supplements, you get what you pay for. Okay, and I'm serious about this, especially with whey, because whey is I know what the cost is on whey, and it's very high. So if you're getting a cheap protein powder, whatever, chances are it's there's been something that they're either not being accurate on their label claim, or there's some purity issues, which I'll get into in a future video. Okay, so yes, you can use a protein powder if you are vegan or you prefer plant sources. You can go with a soy-based or pea-based protein. Maybe you're okay with bone, but I'm probably thinking if you're vegan, or you're probably not going to be okay with that. So probably soy or pea protein would be a great way to go. Okay, I like Vega personally. Vega, not the Vega Sport, but the Vega. I gotta look at it again. Okay, Vega. It's a non-sport version, and it's chocolate, and that would be the best one. It's harder to get a good tasting protein when it's pea-based. Pea's just got that very strong flavor, right? So, but yes, go ahead, use a protein supplement. But also make sure you go through the booklet that I gave you. Of course, I don't have one in front of me. And look at all your carb strong, fat strong, protein strong foods, and really try to get the majority of your food from these sources, right? Real whole food. If you can pick it, pull it, kill it, harvest it, essentially that's where you're going to get your macros from, right? Okay, message of the day. What is my message of the day? All right. You don't have to be extreme to achieve results. You don't have to be extreme to achieve results. You just have to be what? You have to be consistent and reasonable, right? In order to be consistent, it has to be reasonable. Okay? I mean, like, you can't sustain, you can't make something lifestyle based if it's extreme. All right, so that's one reason why we don't want to be extreme, and there's obviously various ways we can be extreme, especially with the diet. We don't need to do that. We want to be reasonable and consistent over the long term. All right, so make sure you get in all your numbers, your fats, your carbs, your proteins, real whole food. Extreme will not last. Okay, and if it doesn't last, then the results you get from being extreme won't last. So what's the point? Okay, unless you're just doing something for a short period of time and you don't care about the results. You don't care about maintaining it. Okay, so you need to think about whatever it is, whatever you choose to do in the future. Okay, after this challenge, whatever you choose to do with your diet and your training, it needs to be reasonable, because if it's not, you're not gonna be able to maintain it, right? And you are just a reflection of what you do. So if you change what you do, don't expect to keep what you have. Okay? All right? So just think, whatever you choose to do, it needs to be maintained. All right? So this is why I recommend being reasonable. Be reasonable. You do not have to be extreme to achieve results. You can get great results without being extreme, okay? All right, positive energy, positive vibes. Believe in yourself, and for the love of God, give some gratitude, and I will talk to you all very soon. Have a wonderful day. Day 3 wrap up. Here we go, you guys.